Welcome back to the second episode of my first ever Pokemon Nuzlocke run. In case this is the first of my videos you're watching, we are Nuzlocking Pokemon Omega Ruby. Last time we got through the intro, caught a bunch of Pokemon, named them, and we were getting ready to challenge the Rustboro Gym so we can defeat Roxanne and get our first badge. Thankfully we caught Swoop the Wingull in the last video. Thanks to her water gun, it was a clean sweep of the gym until we got to Roxanne. She does her intro and her little Sailor Moon pose, and the battle begins. I was going to one-shot Roxanne's Geodude with Swoop, but the Geodude had Sturdy, and as it turns out, Geodude plus Sturdy plus Rock Tomb equals a dead Swoop. First death. Sad face, but that's okay. We had Mocket the Makuhita, and even though he was being an obnoxious little troll, Mocket still got us the dub. We won our first badge, and the TM Rock Tomb is a constant reminder of what killed Swoop. Not even 10 feet from the door of the first gym, we watch as a Team Magma Grunt runs off from the Devon Corporation with a scientist chasing after him, as if he could have done anything in the first place. So it was time to track down the Magma Grunt, who ran into the Whismur tunnel without Rock Smash, so we literally had nowhere to go. We owned his team, retrieved the Devon goods, and got back this old man's Wingull for him. I'm glad at least one Swoop was able to make it home. After returning the Devon goods, we met Mr. Stone, who gave our Pokenav a news app that we were never going to use, and he turned us into his personal mailman and sent us to deliver a letter to his son Steven in Dewford. Somehow he knew we saved the old man's Wingull and told us he could give us a ride to Dewford. After leaving the Devon Corporation, May stops us for no reason. Once she's done yammering our ear off, we meet up with the old man just as Mr. Stone told us to, and set sail for Dewford City. In Dewford City, we got the old rod and immediately returned to Petalburg so we could use it to catch a Magikarp. For those of you who don't know, water-type Pokemon are pretty cheap, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't play smart. The more Pokemon we catch in cities, the more chances we have to reroll for better Pokemon later on in the wild. So with that, Splish the Magikarp joined our team. In the cave near Dewford Town, we ran into and caught Zubatman the Zubat, strictly for the purposes of having a Zubat with a funny name and not having to catch Zubats later on. Since Steven's mural was blocked off, I went and challenged the Dewford Gym. It sucked not having Swoop to basically own this gym as well, but Silky the Beautifly was able to pretty much sweep everyone and bring home the dub, along with our second badge and the TM Bulk Up, which I was never going to use on any Pokemon ever. After getting our gym badge, we went to go see Steven, who proceeded to bore us with this super long speech about Omega Groudon before accepting his letter. Turns out like father like son, because Steven proceeded to turn us into his personal mailman and deliver the Devon parts we retrieved to Captain Stern in Slateport City. After arriving in Slateport City, we cruised around the farmer's market and found Alakazite just sitting on the ground. I'm not positive we can catch Abra in this game before beating it, but it's better to have and not need than to need and not have. Instead of doing what the game wants us to do, we headed north of Slateport and ran into an Oddish. We captured it and named it Pamela Isley, which just barely fit in the character limit. Bakugo evolved into a Combuskin and learned Double Kick, which is great because we now have a Dark-type counter. To continue the game's storyline, we found Captain Stern and delivered the Devon parts, only for Team Magma to show up and start picking fights. While fighting against the first Magma Grunts, Mocket was doing well, but a surprise Flame Burst took him out. Second death, sad face. We pushed on and defeated the Grunt, only to have the second Grunt also pick a fight, despite us having just defeated his friend. Unfortunately, I had not yet found an electric type, so we had to rely on Bakugo, our strongest Pokemon. I powered him up with an X defense and healed him up after a super effective wing attack, only to have the Grunt land 4 consecutive critical hit wing attacks that I had to keep healing Bakugo through. But Soda Pops won the day and we defeated the Grunt. After the Grunts are defeated, Maxie shows up and makes some villainous speech about humanity's evolution. I wasn't really paying attention and we just sped through the speech so Maxie would shut up. While heading off to continue our journey, we get dragged into meeting this Pokemon coordinator named Alicia, who shows off her own Sailor Moon pose before letting us go on our way to actually play the game. On the way to Mauville City, we stop by the Trick House since we have cut on Orlin and take on the challenge. While down there, Pamela Isley was killed because Rollout sucks. It's a sucky move unless I'm the one using it. We beat the rest of the Trick House and got the TM Taunt, which I will also never use. After bringing Hinata the Seedot back onto our team, we leveled her up and she evolved into a Nuzleaf. Yeah! While walking under Cycling Road, because the bike is only attainable once we reach Mauville, we ran into May, who wanted to have another match. This battle was much harder than the last one, but Zubatman finished the Shroomish, Bakugo took out her Slugma, and Hinata came in clutch and crit Razor Leaf the Marsh Tom. May gave us a dowsing machine as a thank you for the smackdown she got, and we continued on our way. After defeating May, we had the worst run of bad luck in our entire lives. It was ridiculous. First, we lost Orland and Nincada to a nature power that turned into an energy ball that was also a critical hit. This one really hurt because Shedinja is great if you know which Pokemon you're going to be facing. I wasn't even planning on leveling Shedinja up. I was going to leave him in the daycare, take him out when he was at a proper level, and reteach him Fury Cutter in case he forgot it, then just double up the damage on Pokemon I knew couldn't fate Shedinja. As bad as that luck was, it got even worse. Hinata was taken down by a hidden power that turned out to be a fairy type. And while challenging this fisherman, his Whelmer knew freaking rollout for some reason. I flashed it with Silky and tried to have Zubatman Supersonic it to try and break the rollout streak, but the level difference was too high and the rollout's too powerful. We lost both our flying types in a row. I sent out Bakugo and was debating on trying to have it double kick, hopefully crit to kill it, or Sand Attack to try and get the miss. I went with Sand Attack and thank God I did. The Whelmer missed and Bakugo landed the double kick with a crit to kill it and we moved on. But that was devastating. 4 Pokemon died in that one stretch. All we had left was Bakugo, the Combuskin, and Splish the Magikarp on our team. So after putting our dead Pokemon in the graveyard, we got a new team, took a step back, and did some grinding. After getting the Mach Bike real quick, we headed back to Dewford to use the old rod to farm Magikarp. Magikarps are easy to beat, they're level 10 so they drop some XP, and they give you speed EVs. While fishing Magikarp, we also ran into a tentacle we caught named Reggie, adding another water type to our team. Eventually Splish evolved into Gyarados and we headed back to Mauville. Once back at Mauville, we ran into Wally who wanted to prove himself in a battle, but all he proved was he's a total chode and the worst rival ever. Not only did he not have any Pokemon besides Ralts, but the Ralts he had wasn't level equivalent to the area he was in, so it was an easy sweep for us. While making our way through the Mauville gym, Usa leveled up and evolved into Loudred, a proud moment for me. We battled Watson, the first gym leader who didn't feel the need to do a Sailor Moon pose, and we send out Bakugo. It was super satisfying watching Watson try to paralyze Bakugo with a Thunder Wave when I put a Cherry Berry on him specifically to counter Thunder Wave. After flame charging his Magnemite, fire pledging his Magneton, and wiping out his Voltorb, it was another clean win, and our third badge was attained. We also got the TM Volt Switch, which has plenty of competitive potential, but I was not going to use it for a Nuzlocke run. With Rock Smash unlocked, I headed north and broke rocks until I ran into a Geodude I could catch. In this section, both Geodude and Goldeen are capturable, but I had 2 water types already, and I thought training a ground type would be easy thanks to Cycling Road. Unfortunately, I ran into a trainer who had an Azurill, and I thought Azurill only learned water attacks when it evolved into Marill, and Smash died to a quad-effective Bubble Beam. Ever the romantic we are, we reunited this lovey-dovey couple in the Whismur Cave, and were gifted Aggronite for if or when we catch an Aeronolairon later in the future. On our way back to Mauville, we caught Ball the Marill, who I thought would be easy to train since Numels were plentiful where we were going. As predicted, we ran into a Numel that I caught. I forgot to give it a nickname, but I am going to call it Cigarettes, so his name is Cigarettes the Numel. While training Ball against Numels as I had planned, one of them landed a Magnitude 9, which is almost as powerful as an Earthquake attack, and killed Ball. Turns out keeping Pokemon alive without just fighting Magikarp is incredibly difficult. So what did we learn from all this heartbreak? We learned that Nuzlockes can be devastating, and bad luck comes not only in waves, but massive tsunamis. This is a great place to stop so we can hopefully wash out our bad luck and begin anew. If you liked what you saw, or even if you didn't, be sure to hit like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.